So if we are just looking at something, a recovery protocol like offloading for 15 days, how much time tentatively? I'm not asking like putting a gun on your head and asking you to give me a time. I'm just asking like generically for a layman, how much time would it take to return to peak athletic capabilities, which is required when you are offloading for say 15 days?
There are so many variables. No, people want to
Okay.
see things really fast. It's not a movie clink. One wheel,
Yeah.
small wheel will spin, then the big wheel will spin immediately within 2 seconds. The small guy will
Yeah.
become a hero and fight 100 people. No,
Yeah.
it's just not that. So it takes time. It depends
Yeah.
on individual. Especially, I told you earlier.
Yeah.
Every Suppose I give you an input,
Yeah.
impulse. How
Yeah.
all four of us will react differently. All five of us will react differently. So it depends on who is giving the input, what, because it has to suit them.
Yeah.
Like one man's food is another man's poison. So it has
Yeah.
to happen over a period of time. 15 days is minimum. It can
Yeah.
go up to 1 month, and it depending on again grade, boss, because it's very,
Correct.
very difficult to say whether
Yeah.
spasm also it can be grades. It can
Yeah.
be a stress reaction also, it can be a grade. It can be a disc bulge or herniated disc, it can be a grade. Where it
Yeah.
can be anterior, medial, posterior, whichever aspect of it there is a bulge. So we don't know exactly, but to be
Yeah.
on the safe side, 15 days minimum offloading is good enough.
Yeah.
Then the medical team takes over after the pain subsides, the edema,
Okay.
if there is edema formation, another thing, then you will know exactly what the problem is actually, whether it's
Yeah.
muscle related or disc related or bone related.
Okay. Okay. Now, before I let Ramji sir go, I'll request if Srini, Didi, or Nitin have a question for Ramji sir. Any tough question coming his
Oh
way,
dear.
just like if you have anything to ask him with regards to Bumrah recovery protocol before we let him go. Anything. The floor is open for everyone.
My goodness, all three will grill me, man.
No,
Go
no,
ahead, Didi.
no, no. I have always had only one question for Ramji here, which he and me have probably discussed for a decade now. Which kind of we only Indian cricket for all the amenities and all the exposure that it gets and has. We only look at strength and conditioning as a real time, as a real time exercise. How much as an ecosystem for this, Ramji will probably require another episode to kind of talk about this. Which
Yeah.
how much are we paying attention to the back end understanding of strength and conditioning, which probably needs to happen irrespective of whether you are playing cricket or not playing cricket. So for us, strength and conditioning is also always about what is happening on the field vis-a-vis what are you doing to be ready for it. But I think it goes way beyond in terms of setting up a work culture, setting up a an ethical culture, right? That's something that me and Ramji would love to
I
discuss.
think, yeah, you hit the nail on the head because it's a huge ocean. Sports science, strength and conditioning is one aspect of sports science. You have
Yeah.
other support staff helping in part of being interactive into the system because, frankly speaking, we have the hardware, we don't have the software yet as far as sports science is concerned. So we need to have a recovery specialist. We need to have specialized biomechanist specific for cricket or any other skill set in cricket. You need to have a sports physiotherapist, sports medicine doctor. We have experts now. Sports medicine doctors are there. We have a sports medicine. I mean, physiotherapists. We need recovery specialists. We need specific uh, recovery specialists involved. Even your massage therapist and trigger point specialist, you have your what do you call contrast bath specialist, etc., etc. It's a huge field by itself. Similarly, the biomechanics aspect of it or sports science, exercise physiology, those are the field which we still lack a lot, and compared to others. And moreover, apart from this, we need data. We need Indian data. We cannot rely on data from Australian cricket board or English cricket board or South African cricket board. No, I have been shouting from the rooftop for more than a decade now. We need data. We need Indian players data. Why is particular injuries are happening to particular players? Repetitive injuries like hamstring and lower back, or not much of rotator cuff. You don't see much rotator cuff injuries now. You see a lot
Yeah.
of hamstring and lower back and groin injuries constantly happening, and to some extent the knee. Why this is happening to Indian bowlers? Why? For what reason? Now you can do a lot of research. You have enormous amount of people playing cricket in the country. It has to start from there. As Srini said, the ecosystem has to grow. Miles to go before we sleep. It is. I'm being very realistic. See, I'm not trying to do window dressing here. To say everything is hunky dory. Oh wow, we are top notch in the world. No way. We are at least
Yeah.
20 years behind. I'm being very open.
Yeah.
We need experts coming in. We need to learn a lot of things and bespoke it to India,
Yeah.
bespoke it to Indian athletes. So,
I had a
yeah,
question.
conditioning is one aspect of it. We need to get
Yeah.
into the strength and conditioning domain itself is huge. You need
Yeah.
specialists coming now.